Hello, 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 and welcome back to another segment of the Who's Next show. I am so delighted to be here with you. I'm home today. You know, from time to time, we're on location. Sometimes we're in the studio, but today I am at home. I'm in my comfort zone. I will be doing a virtual interview with a very interesting young lady who is an up-and-coming artist. You all know how we do on the Who's Next show. It could be the next entrepreneur, the next dentist, the next artist, the next motivational speaker, the next pastor, the next president, who knows? But today we have a very special guest. Her name is Daisy Close, and she is an upcoming artist, and also she supports a very important movement that I'm very excited to talk about. So let's bring her in now.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So happy to have you. Thank you. Welcome to my home.
Thank you. Welcome to mine.
So delighted to have you, Daisy. I try to audience that they are in for a treat, but would you just take a moment and just tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us who Daisy is and why you are the Who's Next of today.
Okay, awesome. Yes, I will. So my name is Daisy Close. I am 18. I just turned 18 years old. I am a singer and an actress based in Dallas, Texas, and I've been performing my whole life since I was a little girl. Growing up, I've just been performing, whether it was in my kitchen, in my living room, just growing up doing what I love. And eventually I got to do what I love professionally, and I got to perform as a performer at Six Flags Over Texas, and I got to do a bunch of cool things in film and music and just following my dreams. And I've gotten to do a lot of cool opportunities like dance with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and a bunch of fun stuff. Yeah.
That is awesome. And I love that you are so focused and like have done so much at a younger age. We hear about, actors or, child performers, but this age, I know you said you've been singing in the kitchen, but to say, oh, I've danced with the Dallas Cowboys and I just turned 18, like that's a major check mark accomplishment. So kudos to you. Many of us love the Dallas Cowboys. Our show airs nationwide, but the Dallas Cowboys is just America's team. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So let's just talk a little bit about how did you know that you were going to be a performer? I know you were saying that you started singing, as a young child, even singing in the kitchen, but how did you know that it wasn't just a hobby or something that you were good at, but that this was the thing for you, your calling in life?
Definitely. So when I was younger, I started singing in my church choir. 5th grade, 4th grade, I started singing in my church choir, and I started singing kind of first in the youth choir, and then they saw how passionate I was about it. So they moved me up to the adult choir when I was only I would say 13, 12-ish. So that was kind of awakening for me to realize that this is really what I wanted to pursue professionally, and not just kind of as a hobby. And I've always thrived in an experience in a workplace where I get to work with older people. I just think since I was little, that was kind of always my thing. I was an only child, so I kind of always did have to work with other older people and be surrounded by them. So that was kind of where it started for me. And then I used to watch all types of productions, movies and Disney things. But every time I would watch it, it was just that was my place. That was where I felt so happy and still feel so happy. Whenever I go to the movie theater or go somewhere, that's just my place to dream, because that is really what I wanted to be. And since I was little, I just really connected with it. And I told myself that I'm going to work super hard as I can to finally achieve it one day.
So, this is such a great story. What I like the most about this is that from you being such a young child, being able to experience and do so many things and having that singular focus of knowing this is what you were made to do. So one of my questions to you is, what's next? What's the steps of what are you doing next? Okay, is there education in place? Is there training? Is there mentorship? What's the next thing to get you to what that you've been ordained or called to do?
Definitely. Yes. Working on college. I will be starting college fall of 2022. And I'm just working on, it's mainly just, I think a lot of people put in their minds that college will kind of teach you everything you need for, the entertainment industry, especially. I think that really comes a lot on your own to find your own type of training and your own type of rigorous like knowledge in the industry because it's so precise and detail oriented. So I am definitely going to be looking into a lot of classes. Throughout my life, I've been taking singing lessons and acting classes and just anything I can, both like in training and through work experience that I can take with me to also continue to learn and continue to grow. Because I do think in this industry, especially, there is no like perfection, for anything really, but you do want to kind of learn as much as you can because this is an ever-growing industry. It's always changing, it's always evolving. So I think there's always something for you to learn and improve on. So that's something that I've been pushing myself to keep learning and keep growing just so I can be the best I can be in this industry.
I really love that. When I think about education, it's that whole cookie cut mindset of when you graduate high school, go to college. There is a new mindset that I believe that is or not, that everyone, when you graduate high school, it's not everyone goes to college. Some people go straight into entrepreneurship. Some people go straight to the NBA, straight to the NFL, right? So, and then that
definitely.
Parent is saying, oh, I want you to experience college. However, I appreciate the progression of where the world is to understand that there's many ways that we can glean and many ways that we can be perfected and many ways that we can get better and everything for us. Exactly. I think about what you said. You said you started out singing in the church choir. So it's an undeniable thing that this is even yet a gift from God.
Definitely.
The ability to sing, a gift from God. The ability to transform your whole mind and your whole body to be somebody else on screen, a gift from God.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yeah, I do feel that it's just been a gift because at such a young age, I feel like I've connected with it. And that's something that at that age is really hard to understand and comprehend. I remember when I was little, I did a production. I think I was the youngest one in my cast, and it was like an American Girl doll production. I don't remember what it was, but it was based in like England and the UK, and it was with accents and everything. And at such a young age, I most people wouldn't be able to understand that, and I'm sure I didn't understand most of it. But just to have that ability to connect with it and really be inspired by it, I think that was just something I always will look back on and be like, what were you doing? But also like just knowing that that was what I was meant in my life. Yeah. Absolutely. And back on the college thing you were saying, I do agree that I think college is, some people choose not to and some people do. And I think many people make it more controversial than it should be because there is many, many, many ways you can get training and education without going to college. But I do think it's one of the ways to do it as well. And just depending on the person, some people work well in that type of environment and some people don't. I mean, for entertainment, especially, I've been debating even like whether I really wanted to pursue that like in college or just maybe get training for it because there are several ways to combat it, I think, in this industry, but it definitely depends on the person and there is no like right or wrong way to achieve something, I think.
Absolutely. I definitely agree wholeheartedly with that. So you talked about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, being able to dance with them. I love that. You talked about, starring in some plays. What other projects have you done? Let's talk about some of your accomplishments so we can like cheer you on.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. So, I'll just start from the beginning. Like I said, I've been doing it around the house and stuff, but I really did start in church choir, and that was an amazing family, right in the house of God. It was so just inspiring to me to really do that. And through that, then I moved on to elementary school. I did a bunch of honor choirs and choirs in school and just everywhere that I could find something was going on. I always just pursued it. And then my elementary school didn't have musicals or productions yet. I kind of went to a smaller elementary school, but when I got to middle school, they started having more shows, more like pop groups and choir and just musical theater classes. And so I was just involved in all of that. And then they started having musicals there. And that wasn't the first time I did musical theater. I did my first productions like in community theater when I was like super young. So the minute I found out they were doing musicals in middle school, I was so happy. And so I auditioned for all of those. I did the musical every single year.
Wow.
And same with pop choir and choir concerts, just every single year, always doing it, always auditioning, always learning, always just having fun. That was my fun and happy place. You know, that's what made me wake up every day and be excited to go to school. And so through that, I made a lot of friends that were in the same kind of interests as me. And most of high school, I did theater and choir as well. And then kind of later on in high school is where I realized I was like, oh, I'm getting to the kind of age where I can start really trying to pursue this professionally. And so I started kind of working on myself after I got all of that stuff. I had much professional credibility yet because I was just doing it in school and outside in kind of community, you know, type of production. So I didn't really have that professional credibility yet, but I figured that I would start trying everywhere I could, you know, right. And eventually, very much eventually, through the process of learning, I got to receive a few callbacks and just continue to get my foot in the door for things. It was a process learning, you know, especially for film and music. I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't know much about it professionally because I was just kind of, so they don't really teach you more of the professional stuff. So I had to do that research on my own. And that's where I was a mess in the beginning, you know, a horrible setup and didn't know what I was doing. Searching and finding ways to do it. And then I found out about everything about agents and to improve my setup and what I needed for a demo reel and a resume. And so through all of my research, I figured out what I needed to do. And through that, I just started. That was really the point. It was probably mid-high school where I realized that like it's not going to be easy at all to pursue this career, just because I started applying for a bunch of stuff and seeing, you know, that I was rejected, and that really crushed my heart back then. But I think through that, I learned that it's not easy, and I needed to kind of improve myself the most I could to pursue it. And so through that, I started making videos and covers on YouTube and TikTok and sing songs all day and post them online, hoping that someone could see me. And through that, I was also auditioning for projects in my area. And then that's when I found the casting call for Six Flags. And that was about an hour drive for me every single day to drive there and back. So it was definitely a commitment. Thank you to my mom for that. She was the one who drove me at the time because I was younger, but she's always supported me. And so I'm very thankful for her. But I found that was going on. And so, and I grew up going to Six Flags like all the time. I had a season pass and I would go there all the time. And we used to watch shows in the Southern Palace Theater. And when I was younger, I was like, oh, that was my dream. I just wanted to work there so bad. And so I went in person for the audition, and then I got cast as a lead vocalist in their summer show. And so I was super excited because that has been, thank you, that has been a dream of mine, do that show. And then after that, I started receiving more opportunities, and I was super excited because doors were opening from that point. And then I got to dance with the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. That led to that right there. I got to audition through Six Flags for that because they were performing there for the 60th anniversary Fireworks Spectacular show, which is awesome because we had like there's thousands of people watching. So that was great for me to have that kind of exposure and experience with so many people watching. And yeah, that really strengthened my skills in dance and singing and acting, just all of it in general, because I also worked as an actress at Six Flags. I was like doing a bunch of jobs. They had a bunch of jobs open, and they're constantly, you know, switching the performers around. So I was also an actress there in one of their shows. But I think what I really took from that was the stamina and the endurance, because we did summer shows in like 100-degree Texas heat. And with the pandemic, it was still outside. All the shows are outdoors. So, oh my goodness, just doing all day, you know, dancing, singing. Oh, it was hard, but it was good for me to kind of learn and get that.
You know, as you were talking, I wanted to just take a moment and speak to that parent who, you know, has a child who is interested in pursuing and, you know, and just I just want to take a moment and encourage you, parent, to say that you may see that your child has a gift. You may see that your child is really good in something. And I admonish you to take the time, ask the Lord to connect you with the right people so that once you are pursuing and helping your child go in and become everything that God has ordained them to be, that you're able to do it. And also, Daisy, I want to say to you that I appreciate how you went and did the research and did the homework and did what you needed to do to understand about this industry. I applaud you for that, because being in the industry, I understand that it takes a lot of research. It takes knowledge. It takes understanding, and so that you don't find yourself paying a lot of money for casting calls that you don't have to pay for, or paying for representation that's, just internet assistance, so whatever that thing is, I just want to say to you, kudos to you. For me, I have a granddaughter that's very, very talented like that. So when I hear where you are now, when I hear that, then the main thing is that I'm like, this is the evidence, and you're like the manifested evidence of me seeing a gift, knowing how to cultivate it, and then seeing where you are now. So I just really appreciate you for that. So I would just like to ask you, what would you like to say to an upcoming artist, an upcoming singer or actress that has a gift, has a zeal? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say that honestly, like you were saying, there is so many things you have to research about this industry, because there is going to be people that are going to, at first, when you don't have that much knowledge, they're going to take advantage of you, which is really sad, but that is something that we deal with in this world. And whether we like it or not, it's really something that's out of our control. So there is going to be people that are going to try and kind of take advantage of you and find ways to, seek that off of you. So I think just really like absorbing yourself in the knowledge you can find, especially online, because there's so many places you can find knowledge for free. There's articles you can just read. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I read articles. There was a bunch of YouTube videos I watched on people that were explaining how they got representation the right way. And I think just knowing that and looking into all this type of stuff, because as a beginner, you get scammed and you will try and, mess with your head, which I've been through it. A lot of people have been through it, but you do learn through that way. And I would say, for parents that kind of see that their child has a gift, definitely 100% support them, kind of go off of that. I think that's the most important thing, especially for someone at a young age, is to have their ultimate parent support, because that's something that, especially this industry, that's something you don't see every day. Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's not every day where someone, books a TV show. So I think just having your ultimate, because your parents are your like first go-to source. So really having their support is just, that would make it so much more, just having the confidence to do that. I think that would give them so much more confidence. So I would 100% support them and kind of help them through a lot of it, because my mom has helped me through a lot of it. She used to put me in, singing classes, dance classes, acting classes, everything since I was a little girl, once she saw that I was really passionate about it. And I took classes in everything I could, in tap dancing and hip hop, you name it, and I got into modeling and a bunch of stuff. So I think just pushing them, in a sense, to their comfort zone to kind of explore what they like is a great way for them to figure out kind of the go-tos of the industry. So I would say just keep going, persevering, don't give up. That's the worst thing you could do. I think sometimes when we have huge auditions or just like big things we really want and we get rejected at first, we're like, oh, and then a lot of people say, oh, but that's it for me. I didn't do it. Like, my life's over. It's never that type of thing. Yeah, I think it's always more important in our heads than it actually is in real life. So there will always be options to push you even more to, keep going and try the next one and see what a lot of times I'll go in and see kind of if I get rejected from something that I thought I did good on or that I really wanted to do. It's kind of hard sometimes to reach out to casting directors, and sometimes you should, sometimes you shouldn't, but little thing. But just kind of critique myself in a sense, saying, okay, what did I really do wrong and what can I improve on so that next time, hopefully, I can get a yes instead of a no. So just persevering, trying your best. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to doubt you in this industry, and they're going to try and like belittle you and break you down. But I think just as long as you know what you're capable of, and as long as you are confident in yourself and your abilities, I think that as hard as it is just to block out all of that external noise and truly believe in yourself, because if you don't, it's really hard for other people to believe in you if you don't yourself. So I think that's the one most important thing, that no matter what anyone else says of you, is to internally really believe in yourself and just keep going. It's a cruel world, but I think at the end of the day, like you were saying, this is a God-given gift and you have to be grateful for that and just keep on speaking your truth. Like, a great way that I inspire people is through singing and acting and performing and dancing and doing all these type of things in the entertainment industry. So I do remember at the end of the day, through the criticism and through all the negativity that I also experienced, that this is something for a bigger purpose me to do, is to share this type of message with people. So that's just one of the things you have to deal with in this industry. It's the price you pay, but just keep going and believe in yourself. Just never give up. That's the beautiful thing about a dreamer, is that dreams aren't free and they're definitely not easy. So, but that's what makes it all, knowing that it's not easy. So not everybody gets to have this type of accomplishment or achievement. So at the end of the day, when you finally get to that point, it makes it like so much more real and so much more amazing, because you know the hard work you went through to achieve it, because it's not easy. And I think the world constantly serves us to think that our dreams are so far out of it, they're so unattainable for us. And so just being able to prove otherwise and show, especially like little younger kids who are going into this with the negativity in the world, to show them that it is real and you are proof of it and that you've been through it, and that to just keep going, honestly. So that's my advice to other people pursuing this career.
I love it because, like you said, it's a cruel world, and there's people who will make you feel like you don't have it, when like, I know God gave me this gift. I know he showed me myself on the big screen. He showed me my name's rolling in the credits. I remember being early in the industry that I would be watching a film or something, and I would stay and like watch the credits and see who the casting directors are, who is the makeup, who is the design. Yes. But also, like, I would literally, Daisy, I would see my name rolling. And that's because we have to, our minds have to go there. In order for us to go, our minds have to go before we get there. So we have to mentally prepare for that success. So I have to mentally know that I'm going to see Mona Ricks rolling in the credits before right. So then if I'm mentally and premeditating my success, I'm also mentally and premeditating challenges, obstacles, coming against, negativity. And also I'm preparing myself on how to deal with success. Oftentimes we will see that individuals, they weren't prepared for success. So when they're not prepared for success, then what happens is they get money, they get the success, and then they don't know how, they're not good money managers, or they're not good life managers, because they didn't premeditate, okay, when I get my first $100,000, I'm going to do XYZ. When I sign my first contract that's paying me, $1,300 a day, then we plan to fail. So, it's just what it is. So, with that being said, oftentimes there's always a movement or a silent fight or a story behind what we do. And you and I have talked a little bit, and I know that, standing up against bullying and bullies is like one of your passions. So kind of briefly share that with me, and then we'll cut to a small break, and then we'll pick back up, and then we'll close our time. It's been a great time with you, I must say.
Yeah, it's been a great time with you too. Thank you. Yeah, one of my big movements that I fully advocate and stand for is bullying. I do work with an organization, Stomp Out Bullying. You can follow them on Instagram and see their website. They're a big platform to promote and advocate for bullying. There's been a lot of bullying. It's a big thing for me. I do advocate for them because it's a problem in itself, and it's been something that I've experienced too through school, and a lot of people that I've known have experienced it as well. I got bullied a lot for following my dream, and that was something that really hurt me, because that was the one thing that I really, really wanted, And that was just something that they found ways to kind of just discourage you from it, and kind of ultimately, I also say that bullying is a big problem, but I think it's also a bigger thing to have a mindset to say, you know what, people are going to talk about me, people are going to say this, people are going to do this, but you know what, it's all just words. I think a lot of people look at bullying and saying, this person said this or this person did that, so now I'm sad. But it's kind of like, you are the one who's in control of your emotions ultimately. So if someone does something to you, it can discourage you, but you have to tell yourself, this is not right, this is not true, and I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to let them, discourage me or break me down, because I'm better than that, I'm stronger than that, and this is what I know is right, no matter what anyone else says or thinks. So I definitely am a huge advocate for bullying, because there is a lot of bullying I've faced and that I've seen other people face throughout the years. And I do think we as a world can find a way, hopefully in the near future, to, yes, very hopefully, to kind of really, I think a lot of people who bully others as kids, it's really sad, especially like in elementary school and younger ages, seeing kids do that, because they're so young, and they're already kind of spreading negativity into the world. So I think we should start kind of at the root of it, and kids in that age, we need to inspire them and encourage them to be kind to others and to really just focus on, friendship and the good positive things in the world. So I do support bullying very much, and I advocate for it, and I definitely think that it's something that is serious and should be taken seriously. There's a lot of times in school that things have happened to me, and then not even like the administrators or the big support people wouldn't take it seriously, and that really, really angered me. And it still angers me that there's situations that I've heard and still that people aren't taking it as seriously as it should, because it may not look serious at first, but it can really lead to serious problems like mental problems or even physical problems in kids and adolescents.
That is so very true, because the truth of the matter is that what we used to call peer pressure. So today I'm celebrating my 48th birthday, right? So thank you. I praise the Lord for it. But what we considered bullying in 2022, and it was bullying then, and it wasn't spotlighted so much. It almost had to be a fight and something physical before it was looked at as bullying then, but it was bullying. It was looked at as, oh, that's peer pressure. Don't let your peers press you to do this. And, it was a whole different thing, but it was 100% bullying at its worst or at its finest. So I'm so thankful that as young as you are, you're so mature, like you're fast forwarded in so many areas, and that's also a gift from God to only be on earth for 18 years and have a wealth of wisdom, a wealth of skill, a wealth of talent, and a wealth of compassion. So, kudos to you. I know you're going to go on and do great things. And I'm thankful that I've had the opportunity to talk to you and get to know you. And when you're, on some billboard in Hollywood and, when New York is spotlighting you, I will be able to say, I remember when we sat on the Who's Next show. And
I'll call you up and we'll do another segment. Okay.
For sure. I'll hold you to it.
Okay, I will.
So we're going to take a quick break. We're just going to take a short commercial break. And in that break, we'll share I'll allow the audience to see some of the greatness that you've done. And then we'll come right back and then we'll close out. Again, I'm so thankful that I was able to enter your home and you were able to enter my home and we're able to have this. So mi casa, su casa.
Yep, exactly. Mi casa, su casa. 100%.
Take the chance to show off.
Yeah, just all I have to do is call my mother and tell her.
See, I told you all. I know that you can, Daisy. Listen, just when someone lights up the screen like that, you have to know that not only is the light of God shining through them, but the gifts and the talents and everything that she was predestined to do is like literally all over you. So I just want to proclaim and declare to you, Daisy, that you shall be great, that the Lord's hand is upon you, and your name will be known, and it will be great, and it will ring, and people will know who you are by your face. And one day you'll need an entourage of people to protect you. And it's okay, because God's grace is already going to for greatness. Trust me. I know it.
You. That's
I
so
see
sweet.
it. I feel it.
Oh, thank you. That means so much to me.
Yes. So what's next for you? What can we expect next from Daisy Close?
Definitely. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going into college right now. I'm kind of preparing for that. I have been auditioning for a bunch of projects. I've gotten a few callbacks, big projects in the works, that hopefully later, thank you, that hopefully later announce. But at the time, I kind of have to stay a little bit, quiet about that. But later on, hopefully I'll be able to announce it. But one thing I can mention right now is that last week, it was just announced that I was the first place winner of the American Prodigy International Vocal Competition for 2022. And so, yes, it was a super honor, big honor to win, just in the state and the nation and the country, but to win first place in the world is just beyond crazy. I'm super thankful. And as a winner, I will be headed to perform at Carnegie Hall in March of 2023. So,
wow.
That's something big. I'm looking forward to.
That's a great accomplishment. And it goes back to knowing when you are predestined for success, when you're predestined to do a thing. It's just, it's not to be super spiritual thing that when God is ordained to do something, like it does not matter. You could be in a regular classroom and everybody will know you're ordained to do a thing. You could be at Starbucks and you could be in an audition, wherever you are. It's an inevitable thing. So I'm very, very happy to hear, I know that you had to have had something in the works, because you're too talented, and, you're a great find for any casting director. You're a great find for any musical director, any curator. You're a great find. So I'm so delighted. And I also want to acknowledge your parents. Hats off to your mom for having the wisdom and the drive to say, you know what, this one right here, let me push her. Let me stand and support her. Yeah.
I will say that she's been like a huge support in my life. And honestly, a lot of the wisdom, like you said earlier, and a lot of hugely influenced off of her. So she does receive a lot of credit for that, as well as there's a bunch of people in my life who have supported me. And there's several people, and the more and more I get to pursue my career, the more people that have shown me so much support and love, and that has meant the world to me. Just like under my tags on Instagram or just anywhere, people are constantly, sending me in videos and bringing me all of this support and love, and that has been so hard to just inspire them. And that being said, I did talk a little bit about my film experience by playing a lead in a TV show before, and I'm also working on auditions, and I do have a screen test soon in LA for a big project, but and I'm also working on music right now, so stay tuned for that. I will be releasing a single, I'm going to say by this summer, hopefully. I already have a single out, so you can go listen to that, but I'm working on an EP and another single. And yeah, my ultimate dream is to be both an established touring singer and a on-screen actress. It's my dream to be a touring singer and songwriter, established touring singer and songwriter, and to be an on-screen actress in a musical film, an action film, a dramatic film, anything, you name it. But that's something I've been working hard towards. So
you're going to achieve it. I feel so fortunate that we've been able to have this conversation. When people meet me, they're like, oh, I'm so happy to have met you. And then, that's a reciprocated thing, that when you meet people that are great, then like you have to let it be like, I see greatness in you, and that and appreciate it and honor and applaud that. So that's what I give to you today.
Thank
because
you.
young
I
lady,
see so much greatness in you too. You have so much potential. And for you to be here on your birthday sharing this with us, that shows how much you care. So I do really appreciate you taking the time today.
That's so sweet. So what I would like is for you to share with our viewing audience. Of course, I know how to get a hold of you. And yes, I have your personal number, and I will not stalk you when you become superstar. But share with our viewing audience, how they can follow you, how they can reach you, like if they want booking information or if they're looking to fill a role and you fit that just by looking and hearing. Give us the information on how to reach you.
Yes, definitely. So you can follow me on YouTube. I post a lot of covers, performances, just everything. I post all of my performing stuff. YouTube is the best place to find all of my performing stuff. It's all on there. It's Daisy Close. Just search on YouTube Daisy Close, and my channel should be right there. And you can also follow me on Instagram, daisy.close, and I post a lot of modeling stuff on there and a lot of performing arts stuff there, but my YouTube is the main source to go. But on Instagram, you can send me a message, a DM. I also have my email linked to my Instagram, so you can email me for any professional information or just to contact me, reach out and say hi. And then I do some covers on my TikTok, and that is Daisy D Close. And yeah, that's kind of my main social media sources. So.
I love it. I love it.
And check out my IMDb.
Yes.
For my film credits, yes.
Please do. Yeah.
And my music.
We cannot leave
so many
that
links
out.
to keep up with, yeah.
We'll make sure to share that information too. My oldest son has a clothing line, and one of his taglines is "I am the product," and that's so true for us, right? We're manufactured by God, but we are the product. Like Mona Ricks, I'm the product, right?
Yes.
Like Daisy Close, you are the product.
We're here to spread a bigger message. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you again for entering into my home and allowing me to enter into yours. Do you have any lasting words that you would like to leave with our viewing audience before we say goodbye?
Yes, I would just like to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I hope today that you feel inspired and you feel ready to tackle on the next adventure in your life and to go for your dreams. If you've been feeling like you've been holding back from something, today and right now is the moment that I'm telling you to just go for it and just fully believe in yourself and believe in your potential and to have that great achievement in your life.
Yes. So my final words is ditto to what she said. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. You know how we do on the Who's Next show. We're always featuring someone great. We're always sharing and allowing you to see somebody. So if you would like to be featured on the Who's Next show, and or you have a loved one, a friend, or know someone who would be a perfect fit, please reach out to us. You can find us on our social media tabs, our website. All of that information is listed here. We would love to bring you on and talk about what you're. So Daisy, again, thank you so much for spending time. That we got to stop and make sure we take. This is the only way we can take selfies since we're not with each other. We got to take selfies like this. So let us make sure that we pose for our selfies. Again, thank you so very much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. And I'm just excited to see, this is not the first and this is not going to be the last that you all will hear about Miss Daisy Close. So Miss Daisy, thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll hear about you again. This has been Mona Ricks and the Who's Next show. We'll see you next time. Bye.